Hey guys, I'm Jacob Walter. I'm a law enforcement officer for a small community in Kansas. Um, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about this Guardian Angel, the Elite Series. I just ordered mine. We have a deputy in my county that ordered one, and I was kind of looking into buying them. They were a little bit expensive, but I was looking into buying one, and she had one, and so. I was able to see it kind of work in action a little bit, and it really just sold me on this product. So that night I got one ordered, and shipping was super fast. I think I ordered it on a Thursday morning at like 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and then I got it Saturday, that following Saturday. So shipping was super quick. I also had a code to get something extra, and I'll talk about that in a second. But anyways, I just wanted to kind of show you all what you kind of get with it. This is the this model. This is the Elite Series, their brand new line. This is the model number GAELTRB, which is the red and blue. This is not the infrared version. I kind of opted out of that just because in my community, we don't really have any air support. So I don't really need the infrared technology on there. Before I get into this, let me explain a little bit about my thought process behind this. Beforehand, specifically on traffic stops, any law enforcement knows that's like a really dangerous place to be out there on the job. And it's something we're doing constantly. We're doing it all the time. And especially in my situation where I'm working nights, my traffic stops, it's you got to really pay attention to traffic as you're on those stops. So beforehand, I didn't like the idea of constantly having, granted our flashlights aren't that big, but constantly having, this big flashlight in my hand and having this in my hand, I just didn't really like the idea. I liked how much it illuminated, and of course, if I'm checking inside of a car, I'm always going to use my flashlight. So it kind of took this other thinking into a pen light, and I've seen some other models of lights that would go inside the MOLLE because we use an outer carrier. But I purchased this. It's kind of like a Streamlight pen light. And this it was way cheap. It's really cool. I was able to have it mounted up here on my shoulder. And so that allowed me to kind of look at people's license and examine their documents a little bit and have both my hands free. I like that, but there's no options. I mean, it's an off and on, and I could just see where this thing could get broke pretty easy. So that led me to doing some research on some lights that are out there and accessible for law enforcement. And I ran across the Elite Guardian Angel. So I ordered it. So what do you get? This one, packaging's pretty cool. Basically, all you get in the package is the light with the mounting bracket here. And then at the bottom, you get a charging cable for it. It's a rechargeable unit. The first impressions of it, and this is not in a bad way, but this thing is hefty. It has some weight to it, and I like that. It's not too much weight that it's like, oh, it's sitting on my shoulder. It's going to be. It's not like that. It's enough weight to make you think, man, I could probably chuck this thing at somebody, and it could do some damage. Which is always an option. But anyways. You got your mounting bracket. It's a magnetized, and it is a strong magnet, really strong magnet. So in my case, with my vest system, it just slides underneath one of my straps like that, and this just sits there on top of it, and just sits there on your shoulder. And it's cool because you can kind of turn it whichever way. That's a pro and a con. I don't really like the idea of it being able to twist on that, but what are you gonna do? That's, in my opinion, that's a really small dislike. But anyways, I did find it useful that you can turn it a little bit to keep that light off of your face if you're really wanting to hurt somebody's night vision when you're out there. So, how bright is it? How bright is it? It's pretty stinking bright. It's got a couple of options here. So, on the front, and this would be the front, on the front button, it's got buttons on the top of it for right or rear, front. You got your 2 settings for your front light, and then you have a dimmer, and then you have your emergency button there in the middle. So we'll go through each one here. So your first click of your front button, which is the one that you're probably going to be using the most out of this, comes up with a red light. Great for night. Everyone knows that red light helps your night vision. It doesn't make your pupils dilate as much. So if you're up there examining a document, and I can definitely see myself using this back in the patrol car. If I don't want to have to turn on my big overhead red dome light or white light, I can just crank this on right there on me and read the documents and be good. With that, each one of these settings I'm going to show you is dimmable. So just in this setting alone, I can dim that all the way down to the very dim. You have a medium, and then you have a high. So you have a low, medium, high. I love that. I love the fact that in each one of these settings, you can adjust the brightness of them. And they're each individual to each one. So another click from that same button will give you a floodlight, or takedown, if you will. And this is super bright too. And so that's dimmable. You have 3 settings for that, which is the separate button from the one that you're hitting. So one more click, that takes it off. So then we have the front, kind of like, I don't know what you want to call it. It turns on red and blues on the outside, and then your takedowns there in the middle. I'm going to refer to this thing because it's basically like a light bar. So when I say takedowns, those are those white washout lights, just because it's in a patrol vehicle or on a light bar. You're going to have takedowns in your red and blues, so that's pretty cool. So the front setting for that is the white, the red, and the blue. Of course, that is dimmable. You have your 3 settings, which is way cool. Next, you have your rear. So if we turn the unit around, hit the rear, it's just red and blue on the rear. I can see me using this on a traffic stop. If I'm up there, I can, while having those rear red and blues on, I can also then turn on the front red light or the front takedown lights. And so I can be up there examining documents while having red and blues to my rear. It only makes sense. I mean, the more lights that I can have out there at night, I will take. And I'll share a story with you about one of our deputies here in our county, a situation that she got put in. But I will continue here. So, and of course, just like before, the rears, that's on the lowest setting. Then you have a medium, and then you have a high. Guys, they're super bright. They are super bright, especially at night. Then the last one is your emergency button. So you can click that, and it turns on all the lights on this bar. So your two takedowns on the front with your red and blues, your 2 red and blues on the rear, and then it also sends out a pulsing white light on the top. This thing is just super bright, and I can see, like in cases of like if you get involved in like an officer involved shooting or something, or you're injured and your suspect takes off and you want your fellow officers to be able to see you, it's a nice big old button to click and they're going to see you. I mean, they are going to see these lights. So that's super awesome. These as well, this pattern set is also set where you can change the brightness of it from low to medium to high. So that's super good. Really, really love that. The mounting bracket's great. The magnet is super strong. I don't think you'd have to get in a pretty good scuffle in order to have this thing rip off of you. And like I said, it's hefty enough. Man, you could probably in some sort of officer survival situation, you could potentially use this as a weapon, because it's that durable. Recharges on this little flap on the back. You flip it up, opens up this waterproof port. Can't really see down in there, but it's a micro USB. And they supply you with a short little charger there in your kit to plug it in, a USB. So while it's charging, it sends out a red pulse letting you know how charged it is. I don't know anything about the battery life yet. I don't even know what they claim as far as a battery life. But it's, they're all LEDs, so I'm expecting them to be last quite a few hours of nonstop use, but don't quote me on that. So what do you get as well? So I got if you order just the unit, that's what you get. And I believe I purchased this. This was $99.99, so like right at $100 plus this code I used, and I'll link it down in the description. The code I use gets you free shipping, and also this extra clip. This clip can be used, it says, secures to numerous straps, dog harnesses, and shirts. So it's kind of like a customizable another clip that you can use. I don't really know what I'm going to use it for, but I have it, and I guess we will see. So I haven't used it out in the field yet. I go on shift tomorrow night, Sunday night, and I'm so excited to put this thing into use. My only downfall, besides it twisting around and me not, I'm kind of on the fence about that. My only negative thought on this thing is the buttons. It's not a huge deal at all, but I've found myself, and I don't know if you've seen me on some of the times when I was trying to turn on some of the features, if I press, like sometimes when you press on the button, they're really stiff. It's probably because it's all in a waterproof housing, and I get that, and they probably need to be like that. And also, too, there is an upside to that, the fact that you're probably not going to be hitting buttons by accident. That's kind of a good thing, because you don't really, I don't know, it just would be a distraction having this thing going. But I found myself, when I got it today and started playing around with it, that the buttons sometimes aren't as responsive as what I would want them to be. But it's kind of one of those things. Nothing's going to be 100%, and that's okay. That is just a simple downfall when you put it against everything you're getting here. This thing is awesome. I already love it, and I haven't even used it. But Guardian Angel, the Elite Series, they're making a great product, and you can get this same unit in just like amber colors, or just blue, or just red. I can see this thing being used in multiple ways for different emergency use. Law enforcement being just one of those little spectrums. So if you're a law enforcement officer, this is definitely, if your department policy will allow you to have to purchase something like this, is 100% worth the investment. $100, man, this thing could save your life on the side of the road. And let me tell you my quick story here on why this is so important. One of our deputies was actually ran over on a situation, and she was wedged in between two vehicles. Later in court, the suspect claimed that he wasn't able to see her. He never even seen her. And we have a lot of officers die every day, or not every day, every year on traffic stops. They get sideswiped, they get hit by oncoming traffic, and we need to make ourselves aware to the people that are passing by us, and make sure that we're doing everything we can to keep ourselves safe on the side of the road, and ultimately, at the end of the day, come home to our families. So I think this is a step in the right direction. I'm super stoked about this, and I can't wait to put it to use. So I will post an update video. I'll use it for a solid week shift, and kind of go from there and see see how I like it, and see if I find some more pros and cons about it. So give the video a like, head over to Guardian Angels, and check out their product. At least you can do is check it out, and order some. So that's what I recommend. So if you have any questions for me, you can comment below, and I'll try to get back to them as quickly as I can. So thanks for joining.